Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing this evening? I'm doing great. Um, like I said in my other video, I got a little scared for the doctor, did my breast exam, and they said I had to come do a follow-up. So I'm a little scared, but I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm praying that everything will turn out okay. I will keep you guys posted, though. However, I'm going to talk about, I have a question. Are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? I just thought this was a video, it's an interesting video topic because I actually read an article on introverts versus extroverts, and it kind of got me to marinating, and it kind of got me to thinking, um, which one I was, and I come to realize that I have I have a lot of introverted qualities, and the qualities of an introvert is someone that likes to spend a lot of time alone, someone that doesn't like to be around people all the time, not really interested in being around a lot of crowds, and that's how I am. I kind of like don't like to do a lot of crowds and enjoy spending time alone. Extroverts or introverts enjoy spending a lot of time alone, and I do, to be honest, I do enjoy spending a lot of time alone, and um, 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 they're not sociable. They're like in a group type situation. I think that I have a little bit of both qualities actually. I think that I have some extroverted qualities, but I have a lot of introverted qualities too. Extroverts, they like being around people. They're like social butterflies. They love being around people. They love engaging in group conversations and group situations. They're the first one to comment and speak about something, and they're very vocal in group type situations. They're more assertive. They're more aggressive. Um, they don't really like spending a lot of time alone. If they spend too much time alone, they get lonely, they get bored. They kind of feed off of that social interaction. Like extroverts. Like some extroverts, they like to go clubbing a lot. And everybody knows that a club type situation. If you're in a club type situation, there's a lot of people and it's a lot of energy, music, and a lot of energy. And extroverts, they love places like that. They love places where there's a lot of people, or crowded restaurants and stuff like that. Extroverts uh, would love to be like, the city of New York is kind of like a congested. I've never been there, but it's kind of like a congested city where there's a lot of people walking around and everything. Extroverts would probably love that. They would love to be in um, a place like New York where there's a lot of people around and everything, and they kind of get a high off of that kind of thing. And introverts, they're not really cool with crowd situations. They're not really good with crowd situations. I know sometimes I get intimidated when I'm in a crowd, depending on what type of crowd it is. I don't like to be around too many people. And then, like when I do socialize with people, um, you know, I do think that I have some extroverted qualities, um, but I do like to interact with people because actually I am a people person. To be honest, I am kind of a people person, but at the same time, I do enjoy um, spending time alone, and I do like being to myself and everything. I know sometimes I can be a bit of a talker, but at the same time, I'm not much of a phone person. Go figure. I can be a little bit of a talker. Like when I actually do talk, get in a situation where I'm talking to somebody. I'm very engaging in the conversation and everything. But at the same time, on the flip side, I'm not a phone person. Believe it or not, I am not a phone person. I'll probably come visit you before I call you, and don't hold your breath about me visiting you because it might be a while before I visit you. But I have a lot going on, working and everything like that. I'm not quite busy, but But I know sometimes I prefer face to face interaction. But like I said, I don't I just I know some people they love talking on the phone. They glued to the phone. I know my mechanic. I could be talking to him, and then I'll be thinking he talking to me. Next thing you know, why he on the phone? you know, so I'll be thinking he talking to me, but then he turn around, come to find out he's on the phone. He'll have an earpiece or something like that. He's talking to someone on the phone. I'm thinking he's talking to me. This guy he might as well glue the phone to his face. He talks on the phone so much. I mean, that's all he does is talk on the phone. But me, I'm just the total opposite. I'm not much of a phone person. Um, I'm not good at returning. I mean, I'll try to return my calls because I've come to realize that it's rude to not return calls. So I'm not one to be calling people and trying to, talk to people all the time because I don't know. I always be thinking that I could be doing something. I be thinking that I could be doing something else besides talking on the phone. In my mind, I think talking on the phone is like a big time waster. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I could be watching TV, I could be reading, I could be on the internet, or I could be washing clothes or washing dishes or whatever. I be feeling like, or sleeping. I be feeling like there's always something else I can be doing besides sitting and running my mouth on the phone. Um, so I think I've come to find out as I get older that I do to have the tendency to have a lot of introverted qualities, but I also have some extroverted qualities. And I know introverted people, I took a few notes, and um, they have a tendency to like to wear headphones in public. The only time I wear headphones is when I'm going into the gym, but in a large city type setting, people you might see them with headphones on. They like to kind of be to themselves and everything. They're less likely to engage in conversation, if in a group type situation. Um, um, they have the tendency to let others take center stage, in a group type situation. Introverts let other people take center stage. I know sometimes when I'm in a group setting, if I'm at a meeting or something like that, I'll sit back and listen to what some of the other people, like when I go to a meeting for my job or something like that, I'll sit back and I'll just kind of listen to see what other people are saying and engaging in. And if somebody mentions something and they have a good point, I might go ahead and um kind of comment um, in addition to that point. But if it's something that I really feel like it's important that I need to say, then I will raise my hand and I will comment on it and everything like that. But I will kind of sit back and kind of listen to other people, speak and and give input and like that. I'm not the first one to raise my hand, or I'm not the main, because you got some people that they're talking throughout the whole meeting. They're talking a group type situation, meeting type situation. They're talking throughout the whole. They're just giving input throughout the whole meeting. I'm not the type that'll do that. I'll kind of sit back and kind of. Sometimes I just sit back and kind of listen and take things in. And then if I feel like there's something that's very important for me to say, then yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. So that's the qualities of introvert. That's the introverted quality. Um, I know that when I'm at the Kingdom Hall, I know when we go to the Kingdom Hall, um, when we're doing our Watchtower study, they pass the microphone around, and different people comment on different parts of the lesson. And sometimes I'll raise my hand, and sometimes I won't. you know, um, More often than not, I don't raise my hand. And so I'm trying to learn to raise my hand more and try to learn to interact and comment more in meetings. But then again, I noticed that some people comment every week, every meeting, and I noticed that some people are commenting every week. So those are more extroverted qualities where people some of the same people are engaging all the time. But introverts, they very seldom engage in group type conversations. They more like sit back and just take in and listen and everything. And I'm a listener. I like to sometimes like to sit back and just kind of take everything in and meditate on stuff. And it's things like when I'm at the Kingdom Hall, a lot of times I like to just sit and meditate on what's being said and kind of think about what's being said. And I'm not so big on always raising my hand. And I'm trying to learn to do that more because that is important. But I'm working on that. But I just I think I have a lot. I think I have some extroverted qualities, but um, I think I have more introverted qualities than I do extroverted qualities. Extroverted people like I said, they love to gauge a conversation. Um, they're very outgoing. Extroverted people are very outgoing. They're more assertive, and I've encountered people in the workforce that were very assertive. They were more assertive. They're we're more quick to give their opinions. Sometimes um, some people that I've worked with in the past were a little bit too assertive. And me, and when I'm in a work type situation with dealing with coworkers, I'm not very assertive. I'm not very assertive. I um, say, if something needs to be said, like I said, I'm definitely going to say it. But I found some people, they're more assertive. They pretty much, and you got some people that'll say everything that's on their mind. I've worked with people like that. They will say everything that's on their mind, whether you like it or not. I don't think that's always a good idea to say everything that's on your mind because it's not always good to say it. Like I worked with a lady that said everything, literally said everything that came to mind. Everything. Well, she was kind of bipolar anyway. I think she had a problem. She was a little bipolar. She literally said everything that was on her mind. If she was thinking it, she said it. And a lot of things that was coming out of her mouth was not good. And so it's not always good to say everything that's on your mind. I think if I say everything that's on my mind, there will be a lot of hurt feelings. And so I tend to have the tendency to think, well, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. That's not a loving thing to do, and just to blurt things out. But those people are extroverts. People people like that just blurt things out. They say everything that comes to mind. Those people are extroverts. They're very expressive. Those are extroverted people, you know. So um, introverted people don't have the tendency to not initiate small talk. Now, that's one of the things. That's one of my extroverted qualities that I have. Sometimes I do initiate. I do small talk with strangers. Sometimes I'll like right now it's snowing here in Michigan, and sometimes if I encounter a stranger, I might comment on the weather to them. I might say something about the weather. Like when I was coming out of the gym today, I told a lady she was holding her phone. She was texting while she was walking. I said, "No texting while walking." And I kind of laughed and made a joke out of it. I said, "Yeah," and I told her I have the tendency to do the same thing. And so she kind of laughed it off and everything like that. But so that's one of my extroverted qualities that I have. I have a tendency to talk to strangers. I'll initiate conversations with strangers, but that's because I'm kind of a people person. I am kind of a people person, and so um, I do have some extroverted qualities, but I have a lot of introverted qualities. You know, so that's a good question that I wanted to ask you guys. Sound off in the comments section. Which one are you? Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? Think about it. Sound off in the comments section. Let me know. Like and subscribe. Share my video. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. This is Sweet Jim.